Hey guys, Jay here with Word of Advice TV, and in this video I'm going to be going over the most common reason why a window air conditioner does not turn on. And that reason is a bad capacitor. If you have a bad capacitor, the symptoms are usually going to be one of two things. One, the window air conditioner is not going to be turning on at all, but if you come up to it, every 10 or 15 seconds you might hear a buzz, almost like the unit is trying to start, but failing to do so. And symptom number two is when the unit is running, but it's like it's not cooling the house at all. It's just circulating the room temperature air. And if you pay attention, you might also notice that it's running quieter than it used to. And that's because the fan might be running, but the compressor is not. In both of those scenarios, it's very, very likely that the culprit is a bad capacitor. So I'm going to show you how to take apart a window air conditioner to find the capacitor, how to test it, and how to replace it. But before I begin, I do want to point out that you are going to have to take the window air conditioner out of the window. There's really no way around that. On some units, if you get really lucky, sometimes it is possible to only take the front cover off, and then you might be able to access the capacitor. But for most units, you do have to take the whole unit out and take the casing off of it in order to get to it. The first thing I'm going to do is take the accordions off, which come off super easy, just like that. And with most window air conditioners, this whole entire front cover comes off. Typically it's held in by clips on top, on the sides, and another few clips on the bottom. And sometimes you're also going to have a couple of screws on the inside that need to come out as well before this front cover can come off. After the screws are out, next up is to pry the front cover off. And this can be done either with a flathead screwdriver or a putty knife. You'll just go all the way around and disengage the tabs that are holding it in place. On my unit, I also have to do one final step, and that is to push this lever inside. There's two little tabs on either side that are holding it in place. If I just press on them on each side, I should be able to get that in there so I can push it through. And there it goes. After the front cover is completely off, you can either let it hang out in the front or just move it off to the side and leave the wires connected as is. Next, we have to take out the screws all around the unit to get this whole casing off of it. And if you didn't miss any screws, the cover should come right off. Now that I have the cover off, I can put this up on top, just so it's not dangling like that. And the capacitor is going to be located wherever you see all these wires going. So wherever all your electrical components are going to be, that's usually where the capacitor will be as well. And we've discovered the capacitor. It's right on top over here. And before I take it out to see what it looks like, I do want to warn you that these capacitors do store a charge, so if you get unlucky and touch some of the metal prongs, you could get a shock. So before you take the capacitor out, it's always a good idea to discharge it first. The easiest way to do so is with a pair of pliers. There's three sections where the wires go. All you're going to want to do is touch all three of them to each other, two at a time. So I'm going to stick my needle nose pliers to the first two sets. Make sure the metals are touching, and I'm not touching the metals on the pliers. And then I'm going to touch these two and touch these two to each other. And that's all it takes. So you only have to touch it for a second or two, and that discharges it. Now we can safely pull this capacitor out. I think my hand was in the way when I was showing you how to discharge it, so I'll just show you again. Basically, all you're doing is touching your needle nose pliers to these metal prongs. Just like that. And make sure that your fingers are not touching the metal part of your pliers. So you touch them here, and then you would touch these two and these two to each other, and that discharges the capacitor. Right off the bat, if you see that your capacitor is swollen, either on one of the sides or up on top, the top is bulging out, that guarantees that your capacitor is bad. But just because it's not bulging anywhere doesn't necessarily mean it's not bad. The only way to know for sure would be to test it with a multimeter, which I will show in a minute. Some people do the mistake of pulling the capacitor wires off of it right away before they test it. I suggest that you don't be like that. Make sure that you take a picture with your phone where all the wires go. They are all labeled. Every single one of these terminals is labeled. We got HERM, fan, and common. After taking a picture, you can go ahead and pull all the wires off. In order to find out what size capacitor your unit has, you're gonna have to look at the label on the capacitor. And what you're looking for is a little backwards U and an F. And sometimes instead of the UF, it's gonna say MFD. These two things mean exactly the same thing. They both stand for microfarad. So the capacitor on my unit is a 70 by 15 microfarad capacitor. And because this is a dual capacitor, this means that it's basically two capacitors in one. The larger reading is always going to be for the compressor, and the smaller reading is going to be for the fan. In order to test the capacitor, you are going to need a multimeter that can check capacitance, which is this little symbol right over here. So let's set my meter to capacitance and see if my capacitor is good or not. If we look at the top of the capacitor, you should see HERM, which stands for compressor. That means this section right here is for the compressor. If we go a little further, on this side, we have fan, and the last one is common. Let's test the compressor side first by putting 1 meter lead on the HERM terminal on any of the prongs. It doesn't matter which one you put it on, or you can just put it right in the middle. I'll put one there and one on common, and that's gonna give our compressor microfarad reading. And we're getting 68.5, which is good. That means the compressor side of things is good. And if we go from C, common, to fan, we are getting 14.82. This is good as well. So this capacitor is good on both sides, on the fan side and the compressor side. Even though it's not exactly 70 and 15, it's okay because it's plus or minus 5%. So if you want to see what the maximum and the minimum reading can be, simply take 70 plus 5% or 70 minus 5%, and that will give you the lowest and the highest readings where that capacitor should be. Now, if you don't have a multimeter that you could use to check the capacitor with, but you're having one of the symptoms that I listed in the beginning of the video, then it's a pretty fair bet to just go ahead and replace the capacitor, and there's a high chance that this will solve your problem. You should be able to find capacitors in most hardware stores, but keep in mind that some of these stores do not sell to homeowners, they only sell to contractors. So if you come to a store and they don't let you buy it, you might have to go shopping around a little bit or just order it on Amazon. After you get your new capacitor, you would simply refer to the picture that you took, put all the wires back where they belong, and slide that capacitor back in. And one question that I often get is which prong to use if there's multiple prongs. For example, this HERM section, there's only one wire going here, but there's two prongs. And the answer is, it doesn't matter which prong it goes to because they're both connected. So you can put it either here or here, it doesn't make a difference. Well guys, and that is all I had for you. I hope this capacitor will be your problem and you're gonna be able to fix it so you can have air conditioning once again. So the other day, my dad asks me, "Hey son, have you seen the movie Constipation?" I said, "No, I never heard of it." And he says, "Well, yeah, that's because it never came out."